welcome to the Whiskey Vault. I'm Daniel Whittington, Chancellor of Wizard Academy and Whiskey Marketing School, Level 4 Whiskey Sommelier. This is JT Meleck. I mean, not literally. He's a historical figure. This is JT Meleck whiskey. Oh, I've been teaching this week. I'm shooting these videos. I was sick only 4 days ago, so I'm a little paper thin. But I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try my best. I reviewed this. Didn't review it. I've had JT Meleck. One of the people attending, I think, the Bonafide class, Brandon W. Bartoskowitz, brought us this bottle, which is the higher proof JT Meleck rice whiskey, Louisiana rice whiskey. 118, if I remember correctly. 118. So Brandon, thank you. He dropped that bottle off. 3 days later, I get an email from Ava Hyde, who works for JT Meleck, doing their social media outreach and like marketing, some marketing things. And she asked if I would be interested in doing a review. And I was like, well, I mean, feel free to send it in. I can't promise. But then it turns out, so they were hoping for this review. That makes it sort of gifted Drams. But yeah, honestly, I was going to do a JT Meleck episode anyway because of Brandon. So I'm calling this a hidden. And what I ended up getting was Brandon brought me the high proof version and Ava sent me the more accessible 96 proof version. Only, 20 points of difference, but ish. But I loved the story. So I'm going to try them both. But here's the story. This is Fujier Farms. This is Mike Fujier and his family. Him, fourth generation, count other kids, 5-6 generations worth of family members on the same farm in Branch, Louisiana, which if you don't know Louisiana, that means you're not from East Texas or from Louisiana. Louisiana is, it's all the Whittington family comes right out of the East Texas area. Branch is sort of the northwest corner of Lafayette, and Lafayette is on, roughly I-10, or overlapping I-10, halfway between Lake Charles and Baton Rouge. Right after you cross a big old bridge in Baton Rouge. So halfway in there, slightly northwest, that's where the family farm is. And they made rice, and here's why I love this story. Rice farm for a long time. Farm had some ups and downs in its life and its history. Brothers revived it. I'm not going to go into the full story of the farm because this is a whiskey channel, not a farming channel. But you can hear it. There are people on YouTube who've done whole episodes on Fujier Farms. Really cool. This is 725, by the way, if anyone's wondering. Small batch, 725. This is between 4 to 5 years old. Rice whiskey. Now remember, whiskey just has to be made from a grain. Rice is a grain. 100% rice whiskey. Almost unheard of. There's some Japanese whiskeys I know that have done something like this. I don't know if you know your Louisiana whiskey history, but way back in the day, there was a distillery. What were they, like Bon Bayou or... Anyway, there was a distillery that made some rice whiskey and then sort of went upside down, and then those barrels were bought by another distillery who then released it. It was called LA1, the first batch of... and I had that... Back when that first came out, I did try those. I don't remember what I thought, and I didn't go watch the video because I wanted to start with no preconceived notions. So, you've seen me talk... Oh, this is interesting. You've seen me talk many times about the levels of farming. And the reason I love this story, and in my opinion, there are, what did I say? 4 levels of farming? Or 5 levels? Level 1, I'm hungry. Then you make something and so you can eat it. Level 2, I'm hungry. I've eaten some things. I still have some left. I'm going to save it in case I get hungry again. That's level 2 farming. Level 3 farming, I'm hungry. I'm full. I've saved some. Still have some left. I'm going to sell it to my friends and neighbors and community. That's level 3. Hey-o. Level 4, I've saved some. I'm hungry. I'm full. I've sold what I could. I've still got grain. Now what? And that's when, in history, Scotland, Ireland, that's when whiskey making shows up. It's a farm product. Whiskey is a farm byproduct, honestly. So, and then it became a commercial proposition when people realized, oh, if this really works, we can make way more money on spirits than on grain. But they've just stuck with it. They keep the family farm. They're still doing the rice. They're doing crawfish. They're taking the excess rice and making their own whiskeys. This is if you go to their website, and I promise I'm going to drink the whiskey right now, and then I'm going to answer a question about if you go to a website and farm to glass and why I think, yeah, it gets used a lot, but people should be more specific. So first, the lower proof stuff, already insanely rich on the nose. Actually darker in color too. This is 324 of the small batch number on the 118 proof. So 96 proof. Roasted sugars, sort of a, sorry, clearing the sinuses. Roasted marshmallow-ish kind of note. A soft, there's a creaminess layered in, almost a fruit note, which can only be coming from fermentations. I wonder what yeast they're using. Or just a distiller's yeast. Very rich, viscous, very dense, and it's very oaky, but it's not coming across as hyper tannic or too toasted. It's simple, and I don't mean boring. It's just, there's a simplicity to the nose that's very pretty and very accessible. It drinks with a lot of, there's a thing called the Maillard effect, but it's when things get caramelized or roasted. It's the actual new chemical compounds and flavors that show up when something is roasted. It's what makes toast take like toast instead of just bread. Or, the caramelized edges if you're barbecuing, that blackened layer, that's all the Maillard effect. Roasted grains, roasted coffee beans, it's Maillard effect. And it gives this whole layer of complexic phenolic compounds, and among other things. And this has all of them. It's very roasted, toasty, vanilla, simple, sweet vanillins. Easy drinking. A little, I'm not going to say over oaked is the wrong word, but it's a little toasty. I like to see what it does in a cocktail. That's amazing too. But still a good sipping by itself. I'm not saying this is a cocktail whiskey. I'm saying I'd also like to see what it does in a cocktail. All right. Specifically, Rob Roy. Meleck, make a Rob Roy with this, which is technically just a Manhattan. So make a Manhattan. A Rob Roy is a Scotch Manhattan. So make a Manhattan, but use your whiskey. See what it tastes like. I'm going to do it at my house later. Oh, hey. Something else is going on in the higher proof one. Those higher ethanol compounds are holding more flavor notes. It still has that toasted, it's still the same family, still the same thing. It's darker. There's an almost a minty, like a minty lift into the nose. Very weird. Little more char. Actually, this one drinks, until the swallow. This one drinks a little softer. And then as it opens, it goes, and it just comes all the way down and coats the throat. What I'm going to say about this is, it's good. It's simple, but not surprising because it's one grain, right? I get the same thing from 100% wheat whiskey. It has its own thing going on, and it's very unified and simple. And if you do corn whiskey as just pure yellow dent, and that's all it is, you'll get this, when you don't mix mash bills, you get kind of a really simplistic or simplified, again, I'm not saying boring or bad, I'm saying more focused, simplified flavor profile. You get the same thing with 100% barley until you start changing casks and peating things and stuff like that. Barley does weird things with yeast too. You can get, your yeast strains are going to change everything. But I'm finding a simplicity to this that I don't mind. I know this is weird because I have high proof and low proof right here. I'm going to add a little water to the high proof just to see if it opens in the glass the same way that the proofed down bottle version does. I have a suspicion that what it's going to do is push the tannins and the oak forward and then simplify the sweetness to less dense and less interesting. But maybe not. I'm going to let that sit for a second because, yeah, it did get a little bit more tannic and a little more sweet at the same time. Okay, so you'll see people say, I'm farm to glass. Technically, every whiskey is farm to glass. And this is why I hate that sentence. Because it's like, yeah, you have to make whiskey from grain. grains grown on farms. That makes literally every whiskey in here grain to glass. Now, I know what you mean by that. You grew it on a farm, and what they mean. I mean, I know what they mean when they say it. A lot of these other stores are like, yeah, we're grain to glass. We only use grains from our area. We're trying to stay local. Sure, that's fine. There are a handful of craft distilleries in North America that I know of. Frey Ranch, Far North. There's more I could name, but who their goal was farming and whiskey came later. That to me is the most farm distiller that could farm distill. When someone goes, I want to make a whiskey company, they go look for land, they buy it, and then they look to try to find grain from local farmers. That's commendable, amazing, love it. That's not what this is in my brain. And I have a soft spot for this because I've studied whiskey history for 15 years, and I love what a throwback it is when you truly get to try someone who's making whiskey with all the same motivations of farmers for 500 years or more, 1,000 years. I love that. And so I got a soft spot for something like Meleck. Not my preference and not my go-to. Enjoyable to drink. I would love to hang out. They seem really cool. They're super, super Louisiana. I've got so many Cajun relatives, and if you want to get some of the most legit Cajun accents you've ever heard in your life, go watch their About Us videos. It's so good. And there's personality, and I love their site. I love the videos they've done. I love everything about the ethos of who these guys are. That one with a little water, it made it more creme brulee instead of burnt marshmallow. Oh, and it added a little more complexity. So, strangely, I like this one. There is an almost molasses note to that nose. No. I like them both with a little water. I actually prefer the lower proof one. Because it's doing the right thing with the simplicity of its flavors. It's just delivering a super drinkable, little bit of character, a little bit of nuance. Whereas this one is like simple, but also a little bit like it's pulled a switchblade. Which, you know, it's kind of Cajun. Is that derogatory? I don't know. When you come from Texas and you live in East Texas, you always have Cajun jokes. So I'm holding back. Cheers to you guys. I hope that was helpful. Ava, thanks for emailing and sending. And Brandon, thank you for the delicious whiskey. Cheers to you guys. I'm really glad you're here. Oh man, he's Cajun, if you know what I mean. You like farm tale Cajun. You sign up for this right here. Like and subscribe.